DHG here, getting back into Alan Wake. This is part 10, I believe. If you like my content, do subscribe. Getting close to the end of the game here. Not too close, but we're over the halfway point. Sons of bitches. Stole all my thermoses and just placed them around Bright Falls.
They're really taking advantage of your presence here, Wake. I heard they're selling a lot of your Alex Casey books.
Right now, I'm not a big fan of my own writing. Cynthia Weaver worked hard, following her obsessive rituals, sometimes fighting them, always giving in to them in the end. She haunted the halls of Bright Falls' abandoned power plant. She marked her caches with light-sensitive paint that could only be seen by eyes that had been touched by darkness and saved by light like she'd been. She was preparing defenses and supply lines for the war she knew would come. The war between the forces of light and darkness.
A metaphor for rapture? Sometimes I think humanity's not far off from that point. Wait, what was that? Oh, must have been the batteries.
I don't see Barry.
Look, wait, maybe that's him. That's the way to the chopper.
He already got to the chopper. There's a supply cache here. All flare gun ammo. Nice. I wonder how many people played through this game and didn't find one of them. They're fairly obvious. Not going that way. Oh. Didn't see this hole in the fence. Another thermos. Right in the sandbox. I played in them when I was a kid. Although I haven't seen a sandbox in, I don't know, 20 years? I don't think they're a thing anymore. Ours always got infested with ants, termites. I get the feeling a big horde of enemies is coming up. Manuscript page.
Barry got back to his feet inside the Bright Falls General Store and dusted himself off. Right next to the cans of baked beans was a locked case filled with flare guns, and yet here was a conveniently placed barrel of crowbars. Barry's smile widened as he realized that this was the classic movie scene where the hero had to gear up and arm himself to the teeth. Barry threw himself into the role.
Oh yeah, this is when you see Barry, let's just say all geared up to fight. Concealed firearms are prohibited in this facility. That just means everyone in there is a sitting target. You never see people shooting up gun stores, do you? Or shooting ranges? No. Gun control laws, the dumbest fucking things I've ever... The only people that like gun control laws are A, idiots, B, the government. I tried to bust out a flashbang there, but nope. Have some of this. Oh, there's one of the tough ones around here. I don't know what they're called. It was a boss earlier in the game, but they're really hard to... I don't know what the word is. Uncloak? That didn't work. There, got him.
Okay, it's open. Let's go, Wake.
Wow.
We keep them lit all night long on the night before Deerfest.
Oh, the candles. I didn't even notice.
It's tradition.
What the hell is that? It looks like one of those balls that they put raffle tickets into and then spin them up.
We're almost there. We'll have to go through the basement to get to the parking lot.
Yeah, there's no way going through the crypt will turn out to be a bad idea.
No, never. That always turns out good. I don't know if I've ever been to a church that had a crypt beneath it. If it did, I was unaware. Kinda reminds me of the hunting rifle in Silent Hill 2. It's the best rifle in that game as well. I mean, best weapon in that game as well. Still haven't decided if I'm going to do that for Halloween Horror or not yet. Certainly not going to get to do the new one whenever it releases. Probably ain't going to be out in time.
Guess that one saw the light.
There's Barry, with his Christmas lights, all geared up to fight, and his headlight.
Well, I got plenty more.
I got one of them for working on my computer. It's quite handy.
Protection, man. Like garlic against vampires.
Vampires.
The helicopter's just across the parking lot and up the hill. Come on.
The helicopter. I hate seeing that. Missing animals, dogs, cats. When I lived in another state, my neighbor's dog went missing. It was an old dog. I don't know what kind of breed it was, but it was an old, friendly old dog. It wandered up to our steps, and we thought, what the hell's the neighbor's dog doing here? And it was letting out the usual. We didn't think anything of it, and then the next day we talked to the neighbors. They said the dog wandered off. He was quite senile. I thought, oh, well, he certainly didn't make it. He didn't. The dog never ended up coming back. It's quite sad.
My favorite place in the entire world. See this headlamp? It's like a superpower. I can just look at one of those things and they die. It's my flaming eye of Mordor. I wish I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Hey, I want a headlamp.
Alice had screamed until she had no voice left to scream. Around her, the darkness was alive. It was cold and wet and malevolent and without end. She was a prisoner, trapped in the dark place. The terror would have burned her mind out, but one thing made her hang on. She could sense Alan in the dark. She could hear him. She could see the words he was writing as flickering shadows. He sensed her too. He was trying to work his way to her.
Flickering shadows. Kind of reminds me of Plato's Cave.
Last one.
Bastard.
When someone throws a damn school bus at your head and you're about to take a helicopter ride with someone who may or may not have a pilot's license, or cleared for departure, those frames. No finish it.
Been saving this for you. There's another chonky feller. Have one of these.
Oh, I'm never gonna get used to this.
The helicopter's just up ahead. I'll need a while to prep for takeoff.
Don't take too long.
Pavement ends. 14th century up ahead. I don't even have a shotgun right now, but I'll take the ammo. Take my damn thermos. It's cool. I'll fight everyone off. Why do they have a Coast Guard chopper?
Get ready, I'll hold them off.
Back off, bitches. Beautiful. Despite being third person, I have a hard time telling when things are behind me.
Hold them off.
Bolt action's a little slow. that missed. How much juice do you gotta give it? Ooh, slow motion shot. Get to the chopper. Not before I pick this shit up. Oh yeah, gotta have a shooting getaway.
Wait, you better put an end to this.
Just get me to Weaver, Sheriff.
You're taking a big chance on a local crazy lady, Al. I hope you're right about her, or we can kiss this town goodbye.
I hope you know how to deal with this, Wake. I guess you New Yorkers are used to rough situations like this.
Right. The city's a war zone. King Kong, mutant alligators, and Alex
BLM.
Casey shoots the place up every weekend. Look, I never even carried a gun until a couple of days ago.
Well, my dad used to be a cop there. Tells some pretty wild stories.
Stuff like this?
No, just normal bad stuff. Kinda like your books, Wake. I used to tease Dad that he was just like Alex Casey.
You've read me.
Oh, sure. You're a pretty good writer. A little heavy on the metaphors, maybe.
Nobody's ever said that before.
We're coming up on the power plant. See the lit building over there? And that's the dam further up the river. I can't land here. I'll take her down the road across the river.
Just get me there, Sheriff.
That's a modified Blackhawk.
Hold on!
I understand a lot of the civilian helicopters that are used for things like this were just modified Hueys. Hueys were the vehicle that American forces used in Vietnam. Looks similar, but chunkier. Even though that helicopter is much bigger.
Hey, we're gonna have to shake these things. I'll meet up at the plants.
I mean, if the military doesn't have a use for it anymore, try civilian use. The Russians tried this a lot with a lot of their Cold War armament, but they found out that tanks don't really have much of a civilian use. Tanks are good for doing pretty much one thing. Destroying other people's armies. Or suppressing your own people.
something about the chain for the door to open.
Did they take my guns again? Yeah, they did. God, that is one thing I can't stand about this game. Constantly taking your equipment. I mean, I can see why they do it. They don't want you constantly stocked up on ammo because they want to sort of manage the difficulty of each encounter that you go through. If it's there, I'm shooting it. God, this flashlight sucks. Something awful. Hit me right in the fucking forehead. I was gonna say, you better work miracles. Exploding thing. And it did. Yep, okay, got my health back. As I've stated in previous episodes, jumping in this game is quite awkward.
And here's a new song from a band that they always remind me of our local rock legends, the Old Gods. I couldn't tell you why. I guess it's just, one of those things. Anyway, here's Poets of the Fall and their latest single, War.
I don't know if that's a real band or not. That did nothing. They sound like 3 doors down to me. Prick. Oh, 2 more big goons. Oh, you giant son of a bitch. And there's one right here. Oh, can't believe I survived that. Yikes.
power plant glowed in the night. It was close, but I had to find a way across.
There we go. My gun wasn't fully reloaded. Blasphemy. Guess I go this way. Oh, yeah, steps. Didn't see them. Yep, they're still powered. I hate how they always have one of these skinny dudes flank you. They got the skinny dude that flanks you. They got the ranged guy that takes 3 hits to kill, and then they got the heavy that puts on the pressure. Nope, not doing it.
Making her way through the water pipe alone, Cynthia was angry at the writer. Foolish young man, taking unnecessary risks. And the way he broke the rules. Didn't he understand what was at stake? Since the terrible days in the 70s, she hadn't wavered once, as hard as it had been. She was tired of protecting the town all these long years, and now only wanted to rest.
And everyone thought she was crazy. It's usually how it is. People speak the truth. People don't want to believe it or don't want to hear it because it just doesn't fit with their worldview. They don't want to realize that maybe that is the truth. Perhaps they aren't lying. And they call them nuts or conspiracy theorists or any other slander that you can come up with. Especially when you say things like NATO is a Nazi organization. Generally rub people the wrong way. Especially here in the West. But it is. Just look at what happened to a lot of the SS officers after World War II. They got appointed to high-level positions within NATO. Some appointed by the CIA guy, Alan Dulles himself. The same CIA guy that executed the Warren Commission investigating JFK's death, who the same guy was also fired by JFK. So let me get this straight. Alan Dulles, the head of the CIA, gets fired by JFK. JFK gets killed for numerous reasons. And then Alan Dulles, the fired man who's got an axe to grind, does the investigation into JFK, who also appointed Nazis to work in European Command.
The story I had written in the cabin had come true. Touched by the dark presence, I had written a horror story, but the end was still missing. The story was incomplete, and the last unfinished page of the manuscript still sat in the typewriter in the cabin study. If I could get back there, if I could read the page, then I could write my own ending to this story and save Alice.
That's not even including the massive, massive amounts of Italian fascists, German Nazis, and Japanese imperialists that were brought to the United States and Western countries during Operation Paperclip. I believe the excuse was, well, we gotta get them so the Soviets don't. I believe they probably would have been better off with the Soviets, because if the Soviets got them, they would have been executed. The more you learn about World War II, the more you realize that it wasn't a war. You know, Italy, Japan, Germany against the rest of the world trying to take the world over. It was a proxy war from the ruling elite against the average everyday person. That's why so many civilians were killed. Nazi Germany was an experiment. And the people that funded and gave the technology to said experiment were never held accountable. In a way, the war never ended. I just feel sorry for the German people that had to live through that shit. They got destroyed in World War I because they were shifting towards the American way and away from the British world view. Them and the Russians. Although the Russians got taken out a different way. That was a color revolution by the Bolsheviks. Mostly funded by the same people. MI6 and them. But in, yeah, World War I, the Germans had to be taken out because they had, I can't remember the name of the program, but it was based off the American system of economics and not the system of empire that the British loved so much. The British ruling class, not the people. Began with a Z, Sollenherren, something like that. Which side did I come from? That way, okay. I need to be over here. In fact, that's bothering me now. I can't think of the name of the German term for it. I was just reading something about that. Let me check this really quickly here. I could find it in 1 second. There it is. The American system inspired Zollverein. Zollverein. Customs Union. I can't pronounce it, but that's what it is. More Night Springs.
Are we men dreaming of being butterflies or butterflies that dream of being men.
Or men that
Such
dream of being women.
concerns are by necessity abstract.
Women that dream of being men and compete in men's sports.
Concrete proof of the nature of our existence in Night Springs. Tonight's episode, an absence of creativity.
Hello, Martha. What did you want to show me? Oh, Lydia. Thank God you're here. Please, it's in the basement. Oh, Martha. Oh, that's amazing. Isn't it just? I found it here this morning. It's like it isn't there, but oh, I can't look straight at it.
Yes. I'm sorry.
How did you get here?
Well, I'm trying to work.
Did you put this thing here?
In a way. To be more precise, I put everything here but that.
Really? But what is it?
Oh, I guess the temptation is to call it whole, but it's really an absence, a profound lack of reality.
In Martha's basement?
Yes, I was doing so well, too. I came up with 2 old ladies and put something really weird in the basement. It was a great start, but I'm completely blocked now. I can't imagine what I was up to.
Well, surely it's just an ordinary basement.
Is it? Why did you call your friend here, then?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, well.
Couldn't you just ignore it?
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. It would probably turn into a plot hole. Might be one already. Could sink the whole enterprise.
Oh my.
Listen, ladies, not to be rude, but I'm really not at all sure where I'm going with this, and you're just not helping. You should just go back upstairs for a cup of coffee while I try to figure out what I'm up to.
Well, if you think that's best.
Maybe I should just stop here. Or is that too moronic?
Is that too moronic? Indeed. Who can tell? It's a fine line between the stupid and the sublime.
That's gotta be the worst one yet.
Springs.
It was really hard to hear because of the, this grinding in the background.
We managed to lose the flock. You're almost at the power plant. Keep going. I'll give you support.
I get the feeling something's down here. Okay, guess not. I can't run that fast. I'm an out of shape rider. Oh god, a 12-gun shotgun blast at that range? Huh. Hope you didn't like living. That missed. At least it killed something. Oh, you freaking ogre. Oh, good checkpoint. pretty big dudes, flare gun. Oh no, not the birds. Oh, the bird's pissed off. Oh, almost left two pieces of flare gun ammo behind. Kinda sounds like someone's breathing. Okay, it went away. A flare. There. Every time I see big shit like that, it makes me think the poltergeists are gonna come around. Close. Enemy engagement.
I recognized the logo on the power plant sign. I'd seen a version of it painted all over the area, signifying hidden caches of supplies.
Cynthia stole my thermos. Maybe she's not on my side after all.
Hold it right there.
Miss Weaver, Cynthia, I'm a friend.
Prove it.
You knew Zane, Thomas Zane. You're the Lady of the Light in the song. You can help me.
About time. Young man, I've been waiting a very long time for you. It's in the well-lit room.
Excuse me?
What you'll need to drive the darkness back. The well-lit room's at the dam. I built the room to keep it safe.
Will it help me find Alice? Will it get me back to the cabin? Fine, let's go. I can get my friends to come back with the helicopter.
Your shit looks a little, let's just say rusted, old, and broken.
We won't go outside. Never at night. That's rule number 1. You've been breaking the rules, young man, and where has that gotten us, Oh, I got the secret route, a lit route. Wolf water pipe. Something was damaged at the transformer yard. It's draining all the reserve power. Without it, the pipe will go dark. The power to the yard must be cut.
Is she supposed to be rubbing that lamp like
Young man,
it's a
you're
pet?
the one who likes to break the rules. I can't be outside in the dark.
That's
There's
quite
no one
disturbing.
outside.
Is it her precious? Alright, I got a save point there. I think that's where I'm going to cut this one off.